The state tournament concept, which was not in effect until about 6-7 years ago, it's fantastic.
Yeah, we'll get it.
Okay, we got somebody at the door.
Oh, I think you know who I think.
That's the special guest. It's the guy.
Ooh, there he is.
Aloha, guys.
How you doing?
Come on in. Sit down.
Have a seat. Dan Kelly.
How's it going, guys?
Why don't we show these shirts here? I'm going to lift them up for this camera right here. Is that all right? Here we go. This is Western Athletic Conference Championship. WAC championship between Boise State and Hawaii Aloha Stadium, November 23rd, 2007.
You can get them at Foodland at Don Quixote.
Don Quixote.
What a great name for that place.
And the Navy Exchange,
and the
so
Navy Exchange.
We'll just hold that right there. But,
Don Quixote is an easy store to recognize. The guy out there with a mule.
That's right, yeah. And it used to be Daye.
Yeah.
All right, so anyway, we're here with Dan Kelly, UH kicker. Your exploits here this season have been well documented. You're 2 for 2 from beyond 50 yards, 11 for 14 in field goal kicking. But the importance of some of those kicks. You had that 49-yarder against Louisiana Tech that essentially sent the game to overtime. Hawaii able to salvage its undefeated season at that point, very early stage. And then, of course, the 45-yarder to end the game. You had to do it twice because Chris called all these timeouts. That was the game winner. What has it felt like to have been sort of imbued with the weight of the season in just a single kick multiple times this year?
It's been surreal. It's been something that you always dream about as a kid, but I mean, no additional pressure or anything like that for me, at least. It's just been a fun experience.
Football is a relatively new thing to you. I mean, it seems like you've been at UH for a long time. Everyone thinks you're a senior. You're actually just a junior.
Right.
But when did you pick up the game of football?
Well, I did play very minimal amount of football when I was a sophomore in high school. I didn't play at all my junior year, and then I've had I can honestly say my full first season as a senior.
This is in California?
This is California, and in high school, I mean, and all I did was kick. I went to practices maybe the first half an hour, 45 minutes, and got in my car and left.
Now, tell me the truth. I mean, you're saying, it doesn't bother me at all. He can freeze me. At a timeout, I'll just kick it again. I try to put myself in your shoes.
Yeah.
There's no way that I would be, it's nothing. I'll just kick it again. What, a timeout?
Well, you heard the way he's talking already about this game, right? Oh, I hope nothing bad happens.
Yeah, see? So, how can you be that way?
I don't know. It's really just a gift that God possessed me with. I tune out all outside forces and I just focus on what I need to do, and it comes really easy to me. I tell you one thing. I will admit I did get very nervous the next day when I watched the replay. I was a wreck. Tyler Grunke and I.
But you knew it was going to go through, right?
Yeah, but that's the thing. Tyler Grunke and I were text messaging each other. He said, "You watching the replay?" I was like, "I'm so nervous. My hands are sweaty." He's like, "Dude, I am so nervous right now." And we already knew the outcome. And we're just sitting there watching ourselves, and we were just sweating like crazy. And it just goes back to the same thing about Tyler. We just don't. When you're in the heat of the moment, you just don't feel the pressure. And I think you have to. And to be successful at what we're doing right now, you got to have that.
Yet you missed the PAT. You go back there with the PAT, the point after touchdown. You have 50 in a row. I'm up there saying, this guy is clutch. This guy. So well, what happens then?
Well, I did. That's the week I did my tendonitis. I started kicking a lot more, and I didn't get a lot of chances to kick that week.
All right.
So
okay.
Yeah, that's one of those things.
Okay, well, he's talking about when he's built you up to be the clutch guy and you missed the PAT. But tell me your most satisfying moment this year in terms of the Jim Leahey broadcasts.
Oh, that would definitely be the Utah State game. The Utah State game, we were, what was it, someone's 40-ish yard line, and I all of a sudden, Coach Jones, how far is this? I'm like, 54 yards. So I go out there and I drill it. It was a great kick.
Career long?
Yeah, career long. Yeah, my career long. And it was just one of those things where I felt great. And the next morning I was like, all right, Mr. Leahey can't say anything about
Watch the replay on K5.
Yeah, I was like, this is going to be awesome. Leahey's going to build me up. I got this. Here it comes. Yeah. And as soon as all right, old Grosso's coming on to punt. Wait, no, Kelly's coming on. Are you kidding me? And I was like, oh, wow.
Are you kidding me? A 54-yard field goal?
Boom.
Boom. Not only boom, boom. He kicks it through, and it's not even close. I mean, it's accurate right down the middle, but it's got another 10, 15 yards, and he booms it. And after that, I was glowing.
Yeah, you were. I don't think I actually. That was probably the best. I don't think I heard another word from you for probably another 30 seconds. It was a one of a kind of opportunity to listen. It was nice.
It took a while to pull the foot out of the mouth. We'll continue to talk about your kicking exploits here in a bit, but you mentioned somebody, and we hadn't actually talked about him yet in this show, and that was the performance singularly of Tyler Grunke, having to step in there knowing all week that he was going to be the guy, but they played that game with Chris Alt and the media. media about whether or not Colt was going to be available. What is it that makes you guys so confident in one another? Because this is Tyler Gronke, who has had spot starts in the past, was competing with Colt several years ago, but Brennan has become a phenomenon. Gronke has just waited patiently for his turn and got a couple of shots this year, made him pay off, particularly this last week against Nevada. But what is it about him? What is it about this team which allows you to be so confident in one another? Because you talk to all the players, and they said, oh, we knew Gronke was going to be fine.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those things where, minus the size and the exposure, Colt and Tyler are very similar. And, they do have, I think Colt's a little more accurate. Tyler has a cannon when it comes to the deep ball. But it's one of those things where it's just, you just see it in their work, like the way they work every day at practice. It's just, it's amazing how much time and effort, how many balls they throw a day. It's just, and you see it. And then it's one of those things where now it's just become we're talking on the sidelines, to the media or something like that. The kickers just doing our thing, and they're doing team. And you look over and you're like, that's a nice throwing ball. Who threw that? Is that Colt? Oh no, it was Anoke, or it was Tyler. And really, we have 3 quality quarterbacks. And if you look at all three of them were quarterbacks that didn't fit the mold of a college quarterback, and now come here and excel. So it's one of those things where it's just like all of our receivers, all of our quarterbacks, all of our running backs. They're kids who weren't good enough to play Pac-10, but now we're beating Pac-10 schools. Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's just we see the talent, just everyone else just hasn't seen it yet.
Let's get back to you for a second.